Hello, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I can feel a hiccup coming on. Literally, I'm not even joking, 5 minutes before I pressed record, I got the hiccups. So, see, I just yawned, but anyway, don't mind how. Oh my goodness. I hope these hiccups go away. I'm so sorry if they bother you. But I'm wearing my big, huge comfy. The comfy might be like the best invention ever created. It's literally a blanket and a sweatshirt combined into one. You guys all need one. Also, you can see that my Christmas set is taken down and my regular set is back and running. I have all my same stuff except I added this, which I had up during my Christmas set. It's a little I apologize. It's also 11 at night, so if I keep yawning, whatever. This is a little sun. There's like all the zodiac signs around it. It's super cute. And my friend for Christmas made me that little crocheted mug with coffee. So of course oh my gosh, okay. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me. I'm sorry, but this episode is a very crucial and important topic. So I hope that you guys can get past the hiccups because this topic is really important. So, as you can see from the title, forgiveness is crucial. I've had a lot of experiences in my life, just people that have done me wrong or things just that have happened or certain family issues and situations. And I just have learned throughout the years how important it is to forgive. Number one, this is kind of a darker point, but you never know what's going to happen. Like, you never know when the last time you're going to get to see somebody or talk to somebody is. So just, I try not to take any moment with anybody for granted because you just never know seriously what could happen. And I just hate to be on bad terms with anybody, no matter what, because it gives me a lot of anxiety. And so, yeah, you never know when the last time you're going to talk to somebody is. So just, I like to always try and be on good terms. Of course, if somebody like does something absolutely horrible to you, like a family member, whatever, there's like certain exceptions, of course. Like some people, and for, because no, and forgiveness doesn't mean making up necessarily. Like you don't have to like be in somebody's life again, or they don't have to be in your life to forgive them. You can just forgive somebody just for yourself, just so you can feel better, but really it doesn't have anything to do with them, which honestly that's what forgiveness actually I don't know if I agree with that. I was gonna say that's kind of what forgiveness is, but not really at the same time, because you kind of, it is about the other person, but it also is kind of about yourself. But also, me just keeping on yawning right now just made me think, I actually think it's like an anxiety tick or something, because nobody else does this and I don't know why. And I feel like I get enough sleep, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. But the first bullet that I wrote down is holding grudges is toxic. In my personal opinion, I think if you are capable of holding a grudge with somebody, that means that you guys haven't talked anything out, and that means you're just like bottling up all this resentment inside of yourself, which number one, obviously that's unhealthy. But number two, I feel like that's pretty immature because you should not like just talk things out. Like people just very one, people lack communication skills. They don't know how to express their feelings correctly or at all. And two, people extremely lack accountability. And so I think when people hold grudges against each other, it's because neither of them want to take accountability for what they did and they don't know or want to communicate about it. And that just shows immaturity and lack of emotional, like, lack of your emotional awareness. And I'm not trying to call you out if that like relates to you, to be rude. I'm trying to help you because this is me just giving my advice based on personal experiences I've gone through or just information I've learned throughout the years or by like me becoming more spiritual. Um oh my god. And yeah, I just think you should, especially if you care about the person, like if you care about the person that you are having a grudge with or whatever, you will talk to them. But a lot of people, it really is a lack of accountability. People just don't want like to admit when they're wrong. So they'll just put the blame on everybody else and just hold the grudge. They'd rather hold a grudge against the person than admit out loud that they did something wrong. Which everything is also like a two-way street. Like everybody, and that's another thing why I wanted to say, like, I'm not trying to like call you out if you think this is about you. Number one, the people who like can't take accountability and like don't want to admit things to themselves like won't even listen to this and think it's about them because they like genuinely believe their own lies. But that's a whole other issue. I was saying not to like call people out because everybody's like, we're all human beings. This is all of our first times living life. Like nobody really knows what's going on. I just have so much empathy for everybody because I feel bad for everybody and I feel like, I don't know, just people need to be easier on each other and easier on themselves. But I do think there is a point where you can't just like, you need to take accountability for the wrong shit that you're doing. So yeah, don't hold grudges. I think it's very emotionally immature and just take accountability. And this is what I was going to say. And it also takes two. It takes two people, like, sure, maybe one person started it or maybe one person is more in the wrong, but you have to be able to admit. I have a situation where, dude, this comfy is warm as hell. And this bright ass light on me is not helping my case. But like a situation that I just made up with someone recently, and I'm so beyond grateful. I've missed this person very much. Um, but they apologized to me, and I apologized to them. And to be honest, I felt like the situation was more wrong on their end. Like whatever, but I don't even know. But I did some things wrong as well, for sure. And I will always take accountability for when I do something and I will apologize. And like, it's just as simple as that. Like, people just don't want to say that they're sorry. Like, it's crazy to me and I don't understand it. Another bullet point, or the next point, is that humans are made to love. I think people, when they get hurt, like, and that's where I get a little confused actually by my own thoughts, or like I tend to overthink this a lot. because I believe humans are made to love, right? Like everybody is nice. Like I just love when I meet another human being and we can be nice and be loving, give each other compliments, like listen to each other. And I think the people who don't love have either been through stuff or they have some mental issues going on, or how they were raised, like maybe they weren't raised in, like they weren't raised in a household where they felt like they could um express their emotions and feelings the right way. um because I do think that's like the root of a lot of it, is everybody is carrying their past trauma around, and then they project it onto other people, which is why people become jealous or become toxic or are just rude. Um, and again, I don't want to excuse any of that behavior though, because like, it's so hard. Like, also, sometimes things really aren't that deep, but I have a problem where I literally just cannot think about anything on a surface level ever. I always think about everything so deeply. And I don't know if that's a flaw or like a red flag. I don't know, but I can't help it, because what I was just about to say was going to be so contradictory, because I was going to be like, well, also though, like, because I'm like, okay, I have empathy for these people because like, or maybe they can't express their feelings because of how they grew up. Their parents didn't know how to, like, didn't raise them, whatever, a certain way because of the trauma they had. And so, whatever. But then I'm also like, it's not an excuse though. Like, just because you went through things as a child or whatever doesn't give you the right or the excuse to treat everybody else like shit. Because then there's also people who didn't even go through anything and they're still treating people like shit. So I don't really know what that's all about. But I think, bottom line, that humans are genuinely made to love. I think that we all just want to be connected with one another and be there for our loved ones, and things get in the way of that. A lot of, usually, like relationships, like when people get into relationships, it kind of messes things up. Or like, there's some people in relationships, maybe they get into a relationship and one of the partner's parents doesn't like the person's partner, or um a friend doesn't like their who they're dating, whatever. There's just a bunch of things that happen, and I just think that humans are made to love at the end of the day. Another thing I wrote is being caring is cool. Like, I think people who just try and fucking act all nonchalant about everything and just act like nothing bothers them and that they have no feelings, like, that is not, like what is the fun in that? Like, one thing I love most about myself is how much I feel things. Like, I feel, when I'm sad, I feel sad. When I'm happy, I feel happy. When I'm excited, like whatever, like I just feel things so deeply, and that is something, like, caring about things is cool. And that is, I wanted to tie that in with forgiveness, because forgiving somebody, I feel like, to me, shows that you care. Like in my case, um I've forgiven people in the past, like family members, friends, whatever, because I love them and I care slash cared about them. And so I'm going to forgive them because I care. I'm caring. And even if you don't want to forgive them because you care about them, whatever, like even if you don't care about them anymore, like I hate them, whatever, that just puts more stress on you. Like, don't hate them and don't worry about what they're doing, which I mean, easier said than done. And I'm definitely not perfect. I've grown a lot, but of course, you're still gonna, like, we're all humans. We have flaws. Nobody's perfect. Like, shit's gonna happen, and that's completely fine. But just, it's just crazy to me how some people just genuinely, I forgot where my train of thought was going, but people just lack basic empathy. Oh, I know what I was saying. Like, I hate this person, whatever. That's just like more stress on you. Like, hating somebody, like worrying about what they're doing all the time, like stalking their social medias or whatever. Just like, it's a waste of time. Like, it's just only adding extra stress, and like it's just kind of embarrassing. Like, and again, I've literally done shit like the amount of times I've driven by somebody's house, I've stalked some social medias, like like it's whatever, but like I'm embarrassed that I've done that. Like, girl, stand up. Like, it's so embarrassing. Like, why are you worried about what they're doing? It like, you're whatever. But I know that everybody else does it too. Like, I can confirm that for a fact. So, but yeah, just be caring. Like, it's not cool. Like, I feel like it's just to act like you don't care or to be rude, just like being a fucking cunt. Like, I hate her. Like, I'm not gonna forgive, whatever. It's like, I just personally don't get it. Like I said, there is for sure some exceptions. Like, if literally somebody is like horribly like abusive, like physical, mental, everything. But also, I feel like in my, like, if it happened to me, I would forgive them, which I've never really been in that situation. So I can't really say for sure what I would do. But I feel like I've definitely been emotionally, I don't even, maybe not abused, but manipulated. And I've just been like, people would just tell me what I wanted to hear, but that's not how they really felt. Like, they would go and say this behind my back, but to my face, they would say X, Y, and Z. So, or like one day they would tell me this, and the next day it'd be something completely different. I just never really knew like where I stood with this person. And so, but even that I still forgive. I've still forgiven everybody that's ever done anything. I forgive. So I don't know, just be caring. It's not cool to be nonchalant, it's not cool to be a hater, but it also, another point I wrote down is that it takes time. Like, if something just happened recently, yeah, you're probably in the anger stage, like I hate this person, blah 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 blah. I don't know why I'm so thirsty, but it takes time to forgive. Like, it's not just an overnight easy fix. Like, people, depending on what they did to you or like how long you've known the person, whatever, like it takes a lot of time and effort to put in the growth and the time to reflect, because also forgiveness, like I already mentioned, a part of forgiving is taking accountability for what you could have done better as well. Like, yes, this person, whoever you are mad at, did you wrong in some way, but there were probably things that you did as well that you have to acknowledge first. This is like another main thing I wanted to touch on is you can forgive without forgetting. One thing about me, I'm a Cancer, got it tatted right there. Um, we never forget. Like, literally every other Cancer I know too. Like, one thing about us, we will never fucking forget. And I think, yeah, because also you don't want to like let somebody take advantage of you. Like, I think there's also, and that's kind of a fine line of like forgiveness versus giving. this person unlimited chances when they're not, when their actions aren't changing. And it's also, forgiveness is such a weird thing because there's like multiple different types. Because yeah, if it's like someone you're dating, let's say, and they're abusive, right? And then you're like, they keep, their actions are not changing, but you keep going back, you keep forgiving them. They say they're going to change and they never do. But then there's also the forgiveness where you haven't talked to somebody in years because you guys got in like a fight or whatever, and then you're deciding if you like want to forgive them or not. Or, and it's crazy because it's like, how many chances now? I'm just like thinking about it because I'm like, okay, at a certain point you can't let somebody walk all over you. Like, you can't give somebody, like, sure, second chance, maybe third chance. If this person's on their sixth, seventh chance and you're still forgiving them, like, they're clearly showing that nothing is changing. But like I touched on previously, if it's somebody that you don't even talk to anymore, you can just personally, like in your own head, forgive them. But that doesn't mean you have to reach out to them, doesn't mean you have to be friends again. Like, you can just in your head say that you forgive them. So I think that is, I was just thinking, like, that's kind of a fine line of like, how many chances should you give somebody before you like just, when does it not become forgiveness and it becomes letting somebody walk all over you? But I think that's very situation based. I think it's very dependent on the situation. Like I said, who is it? Is it a family member? Is it a friend? Is it a partner? Is it, how long have you been with the like person? How bad is the thing that they did? Whatever. So I think it's, and it's also like, you got to trust your intuition, your gut, your feelings. Like, if you are feeling like you should give this person another chance and that's like what will make your heart happy, you only have one life. Don't waste it. Don't have regrets. Like, you could at least say that you tried, right? Like, if you are like, oh, maybe I'll just give them one more chance, you can do that if that's what will make you happy. But if you know you're not really happy, if you are giving them another chance just to know that you are going to get hurt again, because sometimes people stay because that's just, they're comfortable. They're comfortable and that's all they know, and they're scared to leave, especially in like a partner wise, like a relationship, a romantic relationship. People are scared to leave because they've been with the person for a long time and it's what they know, and they don't feel like starting over with someone new. But I promise you, you could find so much better, and there's just no need to let somebody walk all over you. But it is a fine line, but trust your gut, trust your intuition. And if everybody around you, like your friends, your family, is like, girl, you've given him 100 chances, like, you need to leave him, listen to the people who love and care about you and have your best interests and know you, because 9 times out of 10 they're probably right. So yeah. Next is, oh, actually I wasn't done touching on the forgiving without forgetting. You can forgive, but you could still acknowledge. I guess I did kind of go along with it. Like, if somebody is hurting you emotionally, physically, just like keep in the back of your mind. Or like, if somebody tries to like come back into your life, if they haven't been for a while, just be cautious, just be aware, remember what happened, and move forward, but just keep it in the back of your mind. And with everything, no, I'm not like, just a general statement. If you're whoever you're forgiving, you can forgive people, but just don't, like, every rude comment everybody somebody's ever said to me, I remember all of it. Like, I'm never forgetting that shit. But I mean, I forgive them. Like, whatever. I hope they're all right. Like, they're just miserable having to make fun of somebody else. But hold on, I need to fix my hair. Ooh, big, big, big point. Next, do not play victim. Like, Oh, that is so annoying when you're trying to talk something through with somebody, right? Or like you bring up something that somebody did, how it made you feel, and then you just flip it to be on them. And this is not like a story I'm telling about me. Like I've heard so many stories, especially people telling stories on TikTok, like of people that have done them wrong and things that have happened. And I'm sure it's happened in my life too, but like people just want to put the blame on everybody else. Like people will fucking hold grudges, blame everybody else, do all of this before they can even just take accountability and say a simple I'm sorry. I don't know why it's so hard for people to say I'm sorry, but everybody wants to be the victim. They want to be like, "Oh, poor me." It's like, "No, I can acknowledge that I've been hurt before, but like I've said 600 times, I can also acknowledge I've done things that I regret." So, you like these some of these people just never ever think that they're in the wrong, and then they start to believe their own lies, and that's when it gets scary because they just genuinely believe that they are the victim. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, I wish I could go a little more into detail, but I don't really want to. Also, these people don't really even deserve, like, it's not even worth it to just like mention them or talk about them. But like, you are not the victim, bud. Like, whatever. I just think more people need to admit when they're wrong and take the blame. I don't, what is the science behind that? Like, I actually want to look that up. Like, why is it so hard for people to take accountability and admit when they're wrong? I just don't understand it. And I don't know. I'm trying to think of something I could say without saying too much. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just playing the victim is goes along with actually this is not the same thing, but how I said holding grudges is toxic. Playing the victim is so toxic. What does that says the lyric? She says, and um you're still playing the victim and or wait, is it I'm still playing a victim and you still playing a pick me. I don't know actually. Maybe she said she plays the victim. Either way, oh, I know where I was going. People were not the victim. And I just think victim mentality in general is a little bit just, even if you did something horrible, just or even if someone did something horrible to you, just sitting there and just like a oh poor me mindset is just not going to help you at all. You have to rise above it, forgive whoever it was, whatever happened, and move past it. If you sit there and poor me, who is that helping? That's just you sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, and you're letting the other person win because they they hurt your feelings. They got what they wanted. And the same people who cannot take accountability and play victim will do anything, like they don't care about your feelings at all. Everything they do, everything they say to you, everything they all their actions, all of it is with their feelings in mind only. Like they don't care. Or some things that I've gone through, I think about like constantly. Like I don't want to say traumatize me because that's kind of a strong word, but like things that have genuinely affected me and maybe honestly a little bit traumatized me. And I know the other person in the scenario doesn't even think about it at all. Like they probably don't even think about it. They think of it as just, oh, this happened once. Like they don't even care, but it's something that like genuinely affects me. And that's crazy too, that people can just go around like hurting people, like people who lie about something so important to somebody they love, people who cheat, people who throw somebody under the bus. It's like, how do you just go on and live with yourself and then you just play the victim and think that you didn't do anything wrong and you only care about your feelings? Like, people's thought process, I just don't understand how so many people lack empathy. Where is it? Why don't you have it? Like, I don't know. Everyone is going through their own struggles. And that's another reason goes along with empathy, actually, that makes it easy for me to forgive every single person that's ever done me wrong ever, is because I am empathetic towards people, or empathetic, I don't know, towards people, because I know that everybody has gone through their own certain things. And like I said earlier, some people, like maybe their parents, like their parenting style was just to yell at them, and like they felt like they couldn't express their emotions, they would just get yelled at. Or people who, if you've seen this trend, there's like the pink tote moments on TikTok. Like, I don't even know what my pink tote moment was, and it's just like something that happened to them that was like sad as like a child. And so I just know, or like maybe somebody's being bullied, somebody, because a lot of the times bullies are people who are also getting bullied, so they're just angry and they're just, so it's like, it's easy for me to forgive people because I just know in the back of my mind that everybody's living their own life, doing their own thing, and we're all human beings, even the ones who are fucking liars, cheaters, weirdos. I still have empathy for them for some reason. And I I mean, it's not my place to forgive everybody, and like I said, some people, I don't know if they necessarily like deserve forgiveness, but some people, for your own personal benefit, you can forgive people, but not because they deserve it, because it's just easier for you to let go. But some people do deserve forgiveness. Some people like hold grudges literally for the most dumb petty shit. But just remember that when you see somebody, before you say something, before you think about something, just remember that everyone's going through their own struggles and we're all humans. So we all just need to be a little bit easier and more forgiving of each other and more kind to one another. Ooh, this is a big one. Do not take anything personally. Anything, like everything that someone says rude to you or anything, is all a projection of their own thoughts and feelings. Everybody that does anything, even like your own self, what you say to other people is a projection of your feelings and thoughts and everything. Like, no, nothing that anybody does to you or says to you is personal. They literally are just all going through their own things. They are just bitter, they're nasty, they, especially the ones who can't take accountability, um don't take anything personal from them, because they can't even admit when they do something wrong themselves. So how the fuck are you going to listen to them say something horrible to you when they don't even know, like they don't even think about their own emotions, they don't even know anything about themselves, like they've never even sat with themselves and like processed their own emotions. So don't take anything personally from somebody who's like crazy like that, because they don't even know what's going on. Like, actually, like some people just, that's what it is. I think people can't take accountability because they lack emotional intelligence, and they lack um oh my god, I don't know what I just lost the word, but they lack, like, I already said communication, but they lack certain things. So don't take anything personally from anybody. It's literally because they are ignorant to a certain topic. They just don't understand it. They're not educated enough about it. they are just rude and bitter and have nothing better to do than make fun of other people to make themselves feel better, or they just literally just lack emotional intelligence and could never even admit at all when they do something wrong. So it's all a projection. And then the last point I wrote down is that forgiveness equals freedom, because when you forgive somebody, you are freeing them from your mind and your thoughts. Like, you're allowing yourself to let go and realize that you can forgive them. And forgiving is, I actually want to look up the definition. So I'm going to look it up right now. Hopefully, this is still recording. So let's see here. Okay, hey, it's still recording. I'm just opening another tab. Okay. What is the true definition of forgiveness? Forgiveness means different things to different people, but in general, it involves an intentional decision. Okay, yes, this is what I need. The first definition literally says the action of forgiving or being forgiven. Okay, that's not what I wanted. So it says it involves an intentional decision to let go of resentment and anger, the act that hurt or offended you. Okay, yes. So an intentional decision to let go of resentment and anger. So forgiveness equals freedom. When you make that intentional decision to just let go of that anger inside of you, you are freeing yourself from just anger is just not a good emotion to feel. And when you let go of that resentment towards somebody, you just can live your life and not worry about what this other person's thinking or doing or anything like that. Um, but yeah, those are basically all the points I had written down. I think forgiveness is crucial. That's literally the title of this episode. And I hope this will inspire you guys to maybe forgive somebody in your life, or just reflect a little bit more on things you've done in the past, maybe make you want to take accountability for some things you've done, maybe reach out to somebody and apologize, maybe ask for forgiveness, all the things. Whatever this episode, I hope it could help at least one person watching this. And for my advice for the end of the episode this week, I have 3 little quotes I wanted to share. First one is, if we really want to love, we must learn how to forgive. And I wrote that down because, yes, sometimes you can forgive people that are not in your life anymore, but that doesn't mean that doesn't even mean that you don't necessarily love them still. I think if you love somebody, so okay, if we really want to love, we must learn how to forgive. If you love somebody, you have to forgive, because you're gonna get in arguments. You're gonna, whether it's family member, friendship, relationship, you're gonna get in arguments, especially if you spend a lot of time with somebody. Like, they're just bound to happen. But if you love somebody, you just have to forgive. And also, the opposite of love to me is like anger and like resentment. So if you want to love, you have to learn how to forgive and let go of that resentment and anger. I have 3 quotes. I forgot if I said that. So that was the first one. If we really want to love, we must learn how to forgive. Second one, basically similar. It says, there is no love without forgiveness and no forgiveness without love. And I feel like that is true. I feel like when you love somebody, you have to forgive their past. You have to forgive their mistakes. You have to forgive whatever. Just, there is no love. They are not, wait, I don't know. They're, what's the word? They're like a pair. They're like salt and pepper, forgiveness and love. You got, if you're going to have one, you got to have the other. And lastly, forgiveness is the final form of love. And I agree, because if you are able to, because it's not always easy. It's definitely not easy in a lot of cases to forgive, especially for some people, depending on what the person did, etc. So I think if you can get to the point of forgiving somebody, that is like the final form of love. It's showing that you love them, showing you care about them, and showing that you're just ready to let go of that anger. So yeah, that was my episode about forgiveness. It really is resonating with me, especially right now in my life. So I feel like this new year, it's still the beginning of the year. Maybe just, like I said, reach out to somebody you know or care about and apologize, or, just loving each other is so important, and being nice to each other is so important, and just be kind and forgive. It's not healthy to be angry. And yeah, thank you so, so much for watching this week's episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the post notifications on. Comment any video ideas you want to see or podcast topic ideas. Please, I say this every time, none of y'all ever comment. So please give me suggestions, because I obviously want to make the content that you guys want to see. And yeah, the links to all my other social medias will be linked in the description. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday, a great week, great whatever, and forgive somebody today, y'all. And I love you guys very much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.